Don't look at your phone. It was a dark and stormy night. Rain lashed against the windows and thunder cracked ominously. There was a power cut, and only the faint glow of the streetlights managed to penetrate the darkness. A young woman sat on the edge of her bed scrolling through social media on her phone. She was completely engrossed in her feed, oblivious to the raging storm outside. Suddenly, a notification popped up on her screen. She stopped scrolling and stared at the notification. Then, unable to resist the temptation, she clicked on it. As soon as she did, the lights flickered back on. The sudden illumination revealed an eerie sight. Standing in the corner of the room was a shadowy figure with glowing red eyes. The girl screamed and tried to dial 911, but the line was dead. The figure began to approach her, its eyes never leaving hers. The girl backed away until her back hit the bed. She closed her eyes tight, waiting for the worst. But the figure didn't attack. Instead, she heard a voice, a raspy, evil whisper. "Look at me." She slowly opened one eye and then the other. The figure was gone, and all that stood in its place was a mirror. The girl stared at the mirror in disbelief. What had she just seen? Was she going crazy? Just then, the door opened and a man walked in. "Babe, I'm home," he said. The girl turned to him, a wild look on her face. "Josh, I need to tell you something," she began. But before she could say another word, the lights went out again. The girl screamed for help, but there was no reply. The only sound that could be heard was the pounding of the rain and the distant rumble of thunder. "Help me!" she cried out, her voice echoing in the darkness. But no one came. The next morning, the sun shone brightly and birds chirped merrily outside. It was as if the storm had never happened. Josh woke up first and got out of bed. He walked over to the window and looked out at the beautiful day. "Good morning, sunshine," he said to himself. Just then, his girlfriend got out of bed. She was still wearing the same clothes from the night before, and her hair was a mess. "Good morning," she replied groggily. "You look awful," he said, trying to hide a smile. "I didn't sleep much last night," she admitted. "What do you mean?" Josh asked, his smile disappearing. "I don't know," she said, shaking her head. "I just couldn't get comfortable. I kept tossing and turning all night." Josh put his arm around her shoulder. "It must have been the new mattress," he said. "Yeah," she agreed. "Me too." They stood there in silence for a moment, staring out at the garden. "Well, I'm leaving," she said finally. "Have a safe trip," he replied. "And remember," she said, turning to him, "we're going to be totally off-grid. You going to be able to survive without me for 2 weeks?" Josh raised an eyebrow. "That's the whole point of the exercise," he said, "to push myself to the limit." "Right," she said, a mischievous grin spreading across her face. "Well, don't expect me to bail you out if you can't handle it." "Wouldn't dream of it," Josh said with a wink. "Love you." "Love you too." And with that, she was out the door. As soon as she was gone, Josh pulled out his phone and dialed a number. "Hello," he said into the phone. "Is this a good time?" "Of course," came the reply. "I just wanted to check in and see how you were doing." "Oh, I'm fine," Josh said. "Just a little bored." "Well, why don't you keep yourself busy then? How do you suggest I do that?" "Oh, I don't know," she said, her voice dripping with sarcasm. "Maybe you could watch some TV or play some video games or read a book." Josh said. "Those are all good ideas. But you know what would be even better?" "What's that?" "If you were here with me." "Oh, I wish I was," she purred. "But I have to work." "It's not work," she corrected. "It's torture." "Whatever you say," Josh said with a laugh. "Well, I better let you go. I'm sure you're busy." "Yeah," she said, her tone suddenly cold. "We'll talk later." And with that, she hung up the phone. Josh stared at the phone in his hand, a frown creasing his forehead. "What was that all about?" he muttered to himself. Just then, his phone started to make a noise. He looked down and saw that the battery was almost dead. He quickly plugged it in and waited impatiently for it to charge. When it finally reached 100, he dialed a number. "Hello," he said. "Is this a good time?" "Of course," came the reply. "I just wanted to check in and see how you were doing." "Oh, I'm fine," Josh said. "Just a little bored." "Well, why don't you keep yourself busy then?" "How do you suggest I do that?" "Oh, I don't know," she said, her voice dripping with sarcasm. "Maybe you could watch some TV or play some video games or read a book." Josh said. "But you know what would be even better?" "What's that?" "If you were here with me." "Oh, I wish I was," she purred. "But I have to work." "It's not work," she corrected. "It's torture." "Well, I better let you go," she said. "I'm sure you're busy." "Yeah," he said. "We'll talk later." And with that, she hung up the phone. Josh stared at the phone in his hand, a frown creasing his forehead. What was that all about? He muttered to himself.